Hello. Welcome to English Cactus. My name is Anna. Before we continue, make sure to grab your free PDF of this lesson in the video description. And thank you so much for watching my videos, sending me messages, and writing comments. Your support means the world to me. It truly helps keep this channel alive and growing. This video will help you practice your English in a fun and natural way, improving your listening skills. I suggest you try the shadowing technique. Repeat the words, along with me. First, just listen to the story. Understand the idea. Then go back, pause after each sentence, and say it out loud. Match my rhythm. This simple habit will boost your pronunciation and fluency fast, almost like you're talking to a real friend. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave in the comments where you are from. Now grab your coffee, relax, and let's begin. Today, I want to talk with you about something small, but very powerful. Small talk. When I started to study English, I thought I only needed to learn big, important words. But then I discovered something special. Talking about small things, like the weather, the weekend, or a favorite food, can help you make big connections. When you smile and say, "How was your weekend?" It shows people that you are friendly and open. It can even help you at work, making you look more professional and easy to talk to. So, if you want to grow, don't be afraid of small talk. It is like planting tiny seeds that grow into strong trees of friendship. Let me give you a little example. Imagine you arrive at your new job. You know nobody. You want to study English. You want to learn fast, but everything feels a little scary. Now, you simply say to someone, "It's a beautiful day today, isn't it?" Boom! You just opened the door for a new friendship. Little conversations like these can change your day and even your future. Small talk shows people you are kind, confident, and ready to connect. And when you connect, wonderful things start to happen. Speaking of connecting, there's something even more important when you meet people from different places. When we study English and learn how to talk with new people, it's important to remember, not everyone thinks the same way. In some places, it's normal to ask, "Do you have children?" or "Are you married?" But in other places, these questions are too personal. Sophia learned this when she started meeting people from different countries at her job. She was very friendly, but one day she asked a coworker about his family, and he looked uncomfortable. She didn't do anything wrong, she just needed to understand that every culture is different. So now, before asking personal questions, Sophia talks about neutral things, like movies, books, or the weather. When you study English, it's not only about the words. You also learn how to be kind and smart in conversations. A good idea is to start with topics that are safe for everyone. You can say, "Have you seen any good movies lately?" Or, "What's your favorite food?" These questions make people feel happy and comfortable. And remember, when you respect someone's culture, they will feel safe with you. This builds strong friendships and makes you look very professional too. Now that we know how to be careful with our words, let's talk about how your body language can speak even louder than your words. Step 1. Be friendly and approachable. When you want to start a conversation in English, your words are important, but your body speaks first. A big smile can open many doors. When you smile, you tell people, "I am friendly. I want to talk with you." Eye contact is also very important. When you look at someone's eyes for a few seconds, you show that you are confident and kind. Your body language must be open too. Try not to cross your arms. Stand in a relaxed way. When you study English and practice these small habits, you will see that people feel happy and safe to talk with you. Sometimes, even before you say hello, your body already says, "Come talk to me." It's like magic. So, the next time you are in a new place, try this. Smile, look around kindly, and keep your hands free, not hidden. You will notice that people will smile back, and conversations will start more easily. When you learn English, you are also learning how to communicate without words. And sometimes a warm smile is stronger than a perfect sentence. Now that your smile and body are ready to welcome new friends, let's learn how to start talking in a very easy and natural way. Step 2. Use simple icebreakers. Starting a conversation can feel scary, but trust me, it gets much easier with practice. When you study English and want to learn how to start talking naturally, simple icebreakers are your best friends. An icebreaker is a small, easy sentence that helps you begin a conversation. You don't need anything complicated. Just saying, "It's a beautiful day today, isn't it?" Or, "Do you know a good place to eat around here?" is enough. These small sentences break the silence and make both you and the other person feel more relaxed. One of my favorite tips is to always have 3 topics ready in my mind: weather, food, and places around me. If you are standing in a coffee shop, you can say, "This place smells amazing." Or if it's raining, you can say, "Wow, such a rainy day." It's simple, it's natural, and it shows that you are open to talk. When you study English, practicing these small sentences will make you feel much more confident. And once you start, the conversation can grow easily. But how do you keep the conversation going after the first sentence? Well, that's what we are going to talk about next. Step 3. Ask open-ended questions. When you study English and want to learn how to have longer conversations, asking open-ended questions is very important. Open-ended questions are questions that cannot be answered with just yes or no. They make people talk more and share more. For example, instead of asking, "Did you have a good weekend?" you can ask, "What did you do over the weekend?" This way, the person can tell a story and you can listen and continue the conversation. It feels more natural, and you will sound like a real friend, not like a robot. A good trick is to start your questions with words like what, how, or why. For example, you can say, "What kind of music do you like?" or "How do you usually spend your Saturdays?" These questions are simple, friendly, and they invite longer answers. When you practice asking open-ended questions, you learn to keep conversations alive. And remember, if you ever feel nervous, just smile and keep your tone light. People love to talk about themselves, and you are giving them a wonderful gift, the chance to share. Now that you know how to ask better questions, let's learn the secret that will make you an even better listener. Step 4. Listen actively. Listening is just as important as speaking, maybe even more. When you study English and learn how to have good conversations, you need to listen actively. What does that mean? It means you don't just stay silent. You show that you are really paying attention. You can nod your head, smile, and make small comments like, "Wow, that sounds amazing," or "I see." This shows the other person that you care about what they are saying. Active listening makes people feel respected and valued. It's like giving a little gift with your attention. Another good way to listen actively is to repeat a little of what the person said. For example, if someone says, "I went to the beach last weekend," you can answer, "Oh, you went to the beach. Was the weather good?" This keeps the conversation moving and shows you really understand. When you study English and practice active listening, your speaking will also get better naturally. You will hear new words, new expressions, and you will learn how real conversations happen. And speaking of real conversations, let's talk about how finding something in common can make your talks even stronger. Step 5. Find common. Finding something in common is like finding a little bridge between you and another person. When you study English and want to learn how to build good conversations, this is a wonderful secret. Common ground means things you both like or share, like music, hobbies, sports, or favorite foods. For example, if someone says they love pizza, and you love pizza too, you can smile and say, "Me too. What's your favorite kind?" Now you have a fun topic to talk about, and the conversation becomes easy and natural. You don't need to force it. Just listen carefully and look for little things you both enjoy. Maybe you both love dogs, movies, or traveling. If you don't find anything right away, no problem. You can keep asking open-ended questions and discover new things you never imagined. When you learn English, finding common ground is a skill that will help you make friends faster and feel more connected to people. And once you feel connected, it's important to know how to end the conversation in a friendly and smart way. Step 6. Know when to end the conversation. Ending a conversation can be just as important as starting one. When you study English and learn how to talk with people, it's good to know when to say goodbye in a polite and positive way. If you feel the conversation is slowing down, or the person looks busy, you can simply say, "It was so nice talking with you. Let's catch up again soon." This leaves a good feeling and shows that you respect the other person's time. Ending well makes people remember you as friendly and thoughtful, and that's a big win. Another tip is to have a little exit plan ready. You can say something like, "I need to get back to work, but I really enjoyed our chat." Or, "I hope you have a great rest of your day." This keeps the energy high and positive. When you study English and practice these simple endings, you make conversations smooth from beginning to end. And don't worry, ending a talk doesn't mean ending a connection. It just means making space for the next conversation. And speaking of next steps, let's see how practicing small talk can make you even better, day after day. Step 7. Practice makes perfect. If you want to get really good at small talk, there is one magic secret. Practice, practice, practice. When you study English and learn new words, it's the same. You need to use them many times to feel comfortable. It's the same with conversations. Start small. Say hello to your neighbor. Ask your coworker how their day is going. Talk to the barista at the coffee shop about the weather. Every little conversation is a chance to learn and grow. Don't worry about being perfect. Worry about showing up and trying. One thing that helped me a lot was practicing by myself. Sometimes I would stand in front of the mirror and pretend I was meeting a new person. I would smile, introduce myself, and ask simple questions like, "What do you like to do for fun?" It may feel silly at first, but trust me, it builds real confidence. When you study English and practice these small conversations, you are preparing yourself for real success. And remember, mistakes are part of learning. Every small effort brings you closer to big victories. Congratulations! You are now one step closer to making real natural conversations in English. But remember, knowing these small tips is not enough. You must practice them every day. What if you decided today to start one small conversation, even if it feels scary? What would change in your life if you could connect easily with new friends, coworkers, and even people from different countries? The power is already inside you. You just need to use it. Now tell me in the comments, which tip was your favorite? Which one are you going to practice first? I would love to hear from you. And don't forget, if you enjoyed this lesson, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a chance to study English with me and learn even more ways to grow. Your journey is just beginning, and I'm so happy to be part of it. See you in the next lesson.